Yeah, good morning traders and welcome to Trading in Isolation. It's been a very quiet start to the day. I don't think that's necessarily going to surprise anyone out there too much. I mean, obviously we haven't been given too much from Wall Street and you know the weekend news hasn't been overly prolific that's going to cause a gapping risk, and I think that's fair. You know, if you look at the news flow, there has been some news around WHO suggesting they saw the biggest daily case count, but I think people are more entwined to look at what's going on in hospitalisation rates at the moment. The news that Kanye West potentially throwing his hat into the ring as an independent is not going to rock the boat too greatly at this stage, although it probably does favour Trump's chances of re-election. But let's have a look at the board and let's see how things are faring on the open here. Yeah, so looking at the futures open so far, it's all quite quiet on the Western front. A little bit of outperformance in NASDAQ. Continue to watch that. Obviously, liquidity a factor now, but up 34 basis points. We're seeing Russell start to turn a little bit higher. We weren't down a little bit earlier, but yeah, we're up 7 basis points, neither here nor there. It's very flat indeed, as is the case in S&P futures. And we can see their SPY, in terms of here in Australia, closed down 35, but in terms of what we've been seeing from S&P futures, it's hardly going to rock the boat too much, and we're going to look for a slightly weaker open coming through in the Australian market. Whether people use that weakness as a dip buying opportunity, I'd probably favour that camp at the moment. And one to watch is really what's happening in the China A50. That market is on absolute fire at the moment. Have a look at this impulsive move that we've been seeing in the A50 there. Top 50 mainland companies traded out in Singapore Exchange. Really, really strong move. We'll see if that can break through these highs on the reopen this morning when that comes back online, but definitely something to watch there. Crude prices under a little bit of pressure, nothing too sinister. We've come off the lows, but you know, down about 0.5%. Brent price is up 0.5%, so there's an interesting trade in there as well. I'm watching gold prices as they fire up a bit later on as well, but all of the signs are at the moment we're seeing a fairly quiet open. Have a look at what we're seeing in FX. A little bit of selling in the saffron and also the krona, but generally what we're seeing, very, very tight ranges indeed. The Kiwi dollar looks interesting as a trade this week. That looks like it's still contained within that short-term range, which you can see coming through on the daily chart there. You can see we're stuck in this sort of 65.35, 63.84 range. See if we can break out there. Obviously, big focus on that. And generally, if you look at the rest of the market, generally some tight ranges as we play through. One to watch as we go through the open. Trade it with Pepperstone.